What the hell was that, Josh?
I have no idea, Darcy. Welcome to Tardis Talks. I'm Josh. I'm doing the intro this time. I'm with my good man, Darcy. How are you today, Darcy?
Yeah, pretty good, Josh.
Very good.
That was one hell of an episode.
Yeah, it was simultaneously the episode I learnt the most about this series so far, and also the least.
Yeah.
I felt I learnt a lot, the passenger, perhaps what Swarm's backstory is.
We still know nothing about Swarm.
But now we know it was connected to the whole fugitive doctor division thing. They're all, because when they went that flashback and they were with Carvanista, that makes me think, and they were hiding with the passenger. That also, passengers just being giant prisons that hold thousands of people it makes sense for why he hasn't done anything, because he's literally just a prison.
God, I had a lot of problems with this episode. I mean, I don't really know where to start.
Yeah.
This episode was good. It was good, very good, but it was really confusing and all over the flippin' place. How are we supposed to follow what's going on? First, they're still in the Temple of Atropos. Swarm's clicked his fingers. The Mori are giant, and they're in a freaking vortex all of a sudden, and the doctor's talking to the Mori. I cannot follow what's going on. I literally have no idea.
And then they're going into their time streams, but the people in their time streams are Yaz and Dan and all these other people for no reason.
I don't know, why is it so rushed, though? You could have done, a two-parter here.
You literally have 6... You could just stretch it. It's Doctor Who. It's one of the biggest British shows out there. Just stretch it out a little bit so you can actually explain things, bro.
But, I mean, if you think about it, they only have 6 episodes, but they could have made it more. They could have made it 12 episodes.
Yeah.
But the thing is, because it's already about the Flux, it's basically like Spyfall, but there's a whole series dedicated to it.
Exactly. There's stuff happening everywhere.
Why? But at the same time, because that's at your dispense, because you have a series about a certain thing, why not expand that episode into 2? That it made no sense.
Yeah.
First, Swarm is, doing his thing. We barely see him for this episode. He gets easily imprisoned by a freaking glowing axe gun. And then they're all wearing this division. I think because the Ruth doctor.
Yep.
She was a part of that division. So that's where that dog comes from.
Yeah.
She can't remember the dog because the dog doesn't exist, because her memory was wiped or something. I just can't.
And then we've got the weirdest scene in the entire episode, that really weird one near the end, where they talk to, the fairy godmother for some reason. It's just we made
Who the bloody hell was that?
Yeah, we made the flux, because you, doctor, you didn't pay us back, so we're gonna eat you, or something. I don't know.
I think you actually might be right about Gallifrey, because she said the flux was your cause. It happened because of you.
Yeah.
It happened because you detonated the death particle on a pocket universe of Gallifrey.
Exactly.
And now that's going all over the place.
Yeah, you've messed with time, and now time's going to mess with you.
That's why I thought your theory about that was so credible, because...
Yeah. It's weird, though, because we've got now, tiers of time management. We've got the Mori. Well, at the very bottom, you got the Doctor, who just kind of messes with everything. You got the Mori, and then you got this fairy godmother who can control time, but also doesn't do anything with time, is time, was time, is on the planet time, lived on time. Too much time.
And I'm going to introduce the most confusing freaking thing in this episode right now. Belle.
Yeah, what was the point
Why?
of it?
Yes, Vinda has a love interest. That's literally it, Chibnall. Why do we need to know about this person? We haven't seen her in previous episodes, and we probably won't see her after, because it looks like, for the trailer of Village of the Angels, she's not even there.
I feel like it's going to be the same thing with the old 1800s guy? She's just going to pop up every now and then.
What is with that guy, though? Why is he there?
He keeps showing up for no reason.
Why?
Is he Swarm? Is he not Swarm? Is he related to the division? Is he a friend of the godmother?
I mean, you can see why we're freaking out. We're nearly past the halfway point of this series.
And we still know barely nothing.
We are...
We don't know
walking question mark.
Yeah, we don't know anything about the Flux. We don't know anything about the division. We don't know anything about what's going on with Swarm, the Mori. Literally
And
everything.
if we don't get answers in the next episode, they're going to have to wrap this thing up fast.
6th episode is just going to be 30 minutes of just talking of like, okay, so you see that, that's that, and that's that, and that is that. And then it's just going to be like, why? You shouldn't have rushed it. I think what they should have done, they should incrementally tell us, in the first episode, right, they should have introduced a whole heap of new questions, like they did, and then slowly as time goes on, answer 1 or 2 per episode. And then by the end, you're like, oh, it all makes sense now. And then you can go back and rewatch it. We're at the 3rd episode, and we are, like, getting new questions as fast as we're answering questions. And even then, the questions we're answering are stupid. Like, this random passenger guy that everyone was confused about. Oh, it's a prison. Okay. That's so boring, but okay. And then...
I don't see any meaning it provides, but there's got to be some.
Yeah, like, why are they trapping thousands
And it's a prison, but then the prison gets disintegrated.
Yeah, they just...
Why? What is your point?
Yeah. You have Cybermen, you have Daleks, you have Sontarans. I felt like the Daleks and the Cybermen were so unneeded. Like, you already have the Sontarans who are doing all this. They haven't been doing anything since, like, 2008. Let them have their limelight just for, like, 2 episodes, please. You don't need to give it to the Cybermen, who've literally been in every... They've been in every series of every Doctor since, like, I don't know, the 10th Doctor. And it's like, ugh. And it's the same thing with the Daleks. I love them both, but, like, they were the only 2 that showed up with the 13th Doctor. And the Sontarans come for 1 episode, and that's it. Like, I might be a Sontaran fanboy, but come on.
And then there is probably my biggest problem with this episode. The cliffhanger.
Yeah.
The Angel somehow gets into the TARDIS through a phone. What? Yeah. Wouldn't the TARDIS have shields?
Yeah, like, what? I don't get... Yes, like... Earlier, she was playing Resident Evil or something, and then she saw the Weeping Angel. It's like, what? This has never been a part of their moveset. This is completely different. And is this a new age of, like, Weeping Angels? The tech ones?
Then there's my biggest problem. The Angel controls the TARDIS. Why? How is it possible?
Yeah.
It's a statue. It cannot interact with the world around it. It cannot flick levers unless they're that flimsy. You can't do that. Unless the Angel is Claire or someone. Because why would an Angel even bother about that? You've got 4 humans standing in front of you and you go for a control panel.
Yeah, you have the Doctor as well, who would be the tasty snack ever. Like, you have all this, and even for the Weeping Angels, the other thing, it's clear...
Weird.
It's clear that people know about it. Like, Vinder wasn't surprised by the TARDIS. He was like, oh, I've heard about these. They're like a mythical thing. So... But even then, the only people who've ever been known to be able to pilot a TARDIS, or just have one, are Time Lords. So unless they're a Time Lord Weeping Angels for some reason, something is very whack.
I literally have no answers. Like, it's so convoluted. I like the concept of this episode.
Yeah.
But what the hell is going on?
Like an anthological piece where they travel throughout time to examine... the characters, like, that's another thing that really bothered me about this episode, the characters. Not Dan. Dan, for me, has been very consistent. Like, you know, he's got his whole... Here's a love story I loved. It's like the duality. Dan's was introduced from the very beginning. That was a part of his character, and I felt that worked well. So the addition of a second one just made the episode feel very bloated.
Also, I don't think the Doctor's going to regenerate within the Flux episodes. There's probably going to be a Christmas special. She'll regenerate like she does every single time. Although, I did see a part of the Graham Norton show where she'd finished filming, which is probably the Christmas special. Then she'll have the regeneration, so we'll have to wait till December. But this will probably wrap up in December.
Yeah, but then, like, that was talking about the Doctor. I was very confused by the Doctor in this episode, because with this whole character, right, it's been very... They tried to give the character an arc, which is like, I'm not against giving the Doctor an arc. It's the main character, you know. You should give them something besides just, you know, I'm the smartest and let me fix everything. You know, she's trying to find out who she is and her past. My problem with that, why does it matter? It's the Doctor. You are the Doctor. You know you're the Doctor. So be the Doctor. You know you help people. You know you save people. And it's even worse because they've done this whole fugitive, like, cut off doctor that no other doctor speaks about before, and they did it much better in the Day of the Doctor with the War Doctor.
Yeah, and the Doctor's origin has just been screwed over by Chibnall. That's why, I mean, I'm holding hope, but I'm still really pissed off at him, because you're telling me that regeneration, a power iconic to Time Lords, you can just splice into yourself if you extract a little bit of DNA from a kid. Anyone could get their hands on it.
Yeah,
the Master got his hands on it for freaking Cybermen, so that means you can splice it into anyone.
Yeah.
You could splice it into freaking Daleks or Sontarans and you would be dead.
Even with Sontarans. I would love it with Sontarans, because, like, the major thing they're lacking is intelligence, but more of my problem with the Doctor wasn't just the character arc. It's how she's been acting recently. Like,
She's very grumpy.
Yeah, like, I get it. You're stressed. You're dealing with the end of the universe. But come on, Matt. You've literally been doing this for 2,000 years. And you have been Matt Smith, who was even optimistic despite nearly dying in every episode. Like, come on, man. You were being... Like, I understand being rude to your monsters and enemies, but, like, Yaz was just asking her, like, hey, Doctor, what's going on? You seem stressed. What did you see in it? And she said... Did I call for a discussion? Get in the Tardis. Like, what? Why are you treating her like a child? What? She was just asking a simple question that might actually help. What if she saw it in her time stream? You don't know. They're trying to make the Doctor both human and infallible at the same time, which doesn't make any sense. Because, like, they're trying to give her human elements of, like, she makes mistakes, she doesn't always do it. And then they give her the strangest amount of cockiness and, like, overconfidence that always ends up killing people. I was like, what?
We better get some answers soon, Josh. Thank you for joining us on TARDIS Talks. Josh's new series will hopefully be out soon.
Yeah, a bestiary on the enemies of the Doctor, made by one of my good friends, the Magister. You'll meet him soon.
Yeah. What's the series going to be called, Josh? Do you have a name for it?
The Magister's Bestiary. A character, he's let's say a biologist. He examines creatures and their races and their histories. And I'm very excited to bring this to you. I'll get into contact with them soon, but, you know, traveling across space and time, it's hard to get a hold of people sometimes.
Yes, it is. Thanks, guys.
Final ratings before we end
Final ratings, I'm going to give it a 6 and be generous.
Yeah.
That's a generous 6.
I'm going to say the same because, like, I like what they were trying to do, but the execution was a bit strange.
Yeah. We still love the show. It's a bit confusing, though. Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you for joining us. Till next time. See ya.
Alonzi.